Another Sunday in America, another deadly attack on a Christian church. Isn't it remarkable that it's always a Christian church? If there was a attack that killed every single week at a synagogue or at a temple or at a mosque, then it would be seen as a massive national emergency. It would take the whole of government to say that there is a group of people that are systematically under attack. But even though we've now seen 4 different church attacks in the last 2 months, many of them leading to death, there doesn't seem to be anybody connecting the dots here. So we'll do it for you. There is an attack on Christianity. It's happening right now. Active shooter is down. Multiple people shot. Smoke billows out of a Mormon, Michigan church after shooter opens fire. Multiple people have been shot in a Mormon church in Michigan. The active shooter opened fire at the Church of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Sunday morning. Local law enforcement says Grand Blanc Township Police Department said there are multiple victims. The shooter is down. It's unclear whether there are any fatalities. The department has said that the church is on fire in the aftermath of the shooting. There's been an active shooter. Here, there are multiple victims. There is no threat to the public at this time. The church is actively on fire, presumably set on fire by the individual who drove their truck into the church and started opening fire on the actual church itself. Here's a photo of the church. Looks like your classic, just Christian church. There, photographs and videos taken on social media show a fire tearing through the church, large plumes of smoke overhead. This is what the church looks like. You can see here the smoke and the fire, the emergency vehicles. Here is also an aerial view you can see of the smoke itself. I mean, it looks like the church is a total loss. I mean, this is a horrific fire. So a gunman, again, drove his truck through the church and then started opening fire and then set the church ablaze. Let's listen to a firsthand account.
Scene of a giant fire happening at a church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. I talked to someone who just got here from South America. It's his first week in the U.S. Went to church with his mom. His mom is still in the building and he got out. From what I'm hearing on the ground, a man drove his vehicle into the church and then started shooting and even shot a little girl in the back, and she is at the hospital right now. The shooter has been neutralized, but that's all I know at the moment. Everyone within a 30-minute radius has responded to the scene.
Yeah. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino saying that the FBI is there on site. FBI responding to Grand Blanc, Michigan. This is some of the footage on site. Looks absolutely awful. We're tracking the horrific shooting. Fire set. So Kash Patel is saying it was a fire set at an LDS church in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Agents are there on scene. Violence in a place of worship, cowardly criminal act, and our prayers are with the victims. This terrible tragedy. Photos of the horrific event. They found bombs now in the truck located nearby. Was this a planned attack? Well, obviously, Skinner and Grand Blanc. Possible bombs found near the church. Fire where multiple people are shot. You can see here. This looks like new gunman crashed a truck into the Mormon church and set it ablaze. This looks like the truck that was crashed in. I mean, it's not in a parking lot. This is all breaking right now. We have the federal government responding. Christianity is under attack. Yes, obviously. An IED has just been pulled from inside of a truck at the Michigan church where the shooter shot up and then lit it on fire. Goodness gracious. Kamala Harris last night, we must light the fire. Goodness. Just perfect timing there. Shooter in Michigan drove a truck through the church and immediately started shooting churchgoers, and then the shooter set the church on fire. There are 10 victims. Conditions are unknown at this time. Again, there was a shooter that did something similar to a Baptist church in Michigan, drove their truck, or it was the shooter trying to shoot the church, and then a deacon drove his truck over the shooter. This happened just a month ago. Of course, there was also the Minneapolis shooting where a transgender radical opened fire on children praying at Mass, the Catholic Church. Mormon church remains on fire in Grand Blanc, Michigan. You can see the police responding here. The sheriff confirms multiple victims. Let's listen.
The shooter is down. We do have multiple victims. The entire church is on fire, and we're working with fire and all those things that happen during an active shooter training. This is a dynamic scene. So the time where we are right now, there's going to be more updates. Just know that there's a lot of things that are happening that we are not able to communicate just because of the work that needs to be done.
Okay, this is what the sheriff is saying. 11 wounded, including kids, in mass shooting in the Grand Blanc Township Mormon Church building set ablaze. Ugh. That's just awful. What'll it be, ladies and gentlemen? What's going to happen? What is going to be the motivation of the killer? My prayers are with the congregation and family. Well, I say killer. Let's just call him an anti-Christian terrorist. Despicable act than attacking people who are worshiping. It only ever happens one way. It's only ever Christian churches that are under attack. Fox 2 Detroit is reporting 6 to 8 victims. Yeah. Please join me in praying for the victims of this tragedy. Once again, Christianity is under attack, and it's time to actually talk about it. That's the only way that we fix problems like this. This seems to be a larger scale trend, whether it's the shooting of Charlie Kirk or the attack on Mass in Minneapolis, the attack on the Christian church this summer in Texas and in Michigan. Christianity under attack. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Fox News with the biggest update. Please pray for the victims here.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Cork with you for Fox News Live. This afternoon, we're following a breaking news story out of Grand Blanc, Michigan. 6 to 8 victims at an apparent church shooting and attack. This is apparently an LDS, Church of Latter-day Saints Mormon church in that community. We do know that the shooter is down. We've also been told that there was a fire set, most likely by the shooter. There are unconfirmed reports at this hour that the alleged attacker drove a vehicle right into that building and then started the fire and then opened fire. Again, the shooter is down. We want to bring in former FBI agent Nicole Parker to help walk us through where we are at this particular stage. Nicole, great to have you. I'm looking at the size of this particular facility. They've got quite a lot of work on their hands, don't they?
They absolutely do. And Kevin, I just have to start by saying we need to offer our prayers.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm at a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints right now in Parkland, Florida. And I can tell you a little bit about how these faith services work. My understanding is that the worship service began around 10 a.m. likely. And in the LDS church, the first hour is what we refer to as sacrament meeting. And that is in the chapel where everyone meets together and congregates together to renew, covenants with God each and every Sunday. And that is likely what they were doing during that time. And so it's a 2-hour block of church meetings in the LDS church. The first hour is what we refer to as sacrament meeting. And so this person likely knew that during this hour, it ends around 11 o'clock. That would have been around 11 o'clock in Michigan, that there would have been a large group of people congregating together in that chapel. And they likely planned this well in advance. And from what you're reporting, they drove a vehicle into the church and then they came out and started shooting. What I can tell you is that initially this is going to be all hands on deck.